What's up, you guys? I'm DJ Cass, of course. You just saw me review Benson's Pig. Now, I am so happy to review this one. This was the Eileen plan. Now, we had a lot of stuff going on in this episode, so let's go ahead and get started. We kicked off the episode with, of course, the four horsemen, as I like to call them. Of course, Margaret, Mordecai, Eileen, and Rigby. They were all just hanging out, and of course they're talking about the most embarrassing moments, and I'm sorry, but I just had to put my head down in shame for Margaret when she told me she takes the pepperoni off the pizza and just eats the cheese. How is that embarrassing? Anyway, and then of course as they're going to Eileen, she pulls out a scroll that says the Eileen plan. All the stuff that she basically wanted to do when she was, I guess, growing up, wasn't really explained, but yeah, apparently she wanted to be the president. I think the jury's still out on that, folks. I want to be watching that, because I can picture her being the president in that show. But yeah, moving on, and apparently it said marry, and on her list it said marry an intelligent man. Interesting. But yeah, of course, Rigby sees it, and then, of course, overnight, he's thinking about that. And that just shows you that Rigby has had so much character development, and I love every single bit of it. But yeah, he's thinking about, like, maybe he's not good enough for Eileen. Maybe if he got his high school diploma, he would be able to be with her. And Mordecai, of course, he's going to help him out. He was kind of very out in this episode, which needed to happen. But yeah, Rigby decides to go back to his old high school, and apparently everybody remembers him. So even though he said that he didn't graduate, he still left his mark in that high school. Like, everybody remembers him being a dropout. But yeah, apparently he gets into this geology class, and apparently it's the most easiest class ever. I honestly thought that Foods 1 in high school was the easiest class ever, but apparently I was wrong. But yeah, onward. Apparently there are three guys, I'm sorry, but they have the same name. I can't even remember who they were. But yeah, they were just born, and of course, Rigby was studying people. Studying! Last time we saw Rigby actually use a book in any kind of way, it was used to jam his head in the Get Smarter episode. Yeah, and he's studying, of course, he's lying to Eileen in the process. But keep in mind, people, he was lying because he cares, so I gave him a pass on that. Yeah, and apparently he had to ditch it 3 times, and apparently the final test was they had to go to a field trip to a cave. And, of course, Rigby has to lie once again. He lies that he's sick. So then Eileen goes over, and how sweet is Eileen? How sweet of a girlfriend is Eileen? Just taking some soup over, which she did not have to do, but it turns out that he got caught. Mordecai, he tried to say, like, he is a terrible liar. I'm sorry. We all know Mordecai is a terrible liar. We all know that. So that was established, and I have never seen Eileen that mad. And apparently, as Rigby and his classmates go into the cave, as it gets darker, Eileen finally sees him, and apparently she was so mad at Rigby. And Rigby, he is like, okay, just let me explain, and as they're running, Eileen falls into a hole, and then Rigby actually goes out and gets her. These two are just great, and the creative team found some type of way to not show us anything that they were dating when we found out. It's still a shocker to me. But yeah, this was the one scene that I did not like. I don't know why it was so, isn't it? I do get why it was pitch black, but I just wish I could have seen it a lot better. But yeah, that's just me. But yeah, it was just an all-around sweet moment. And of course, we knew Eileen, she didn't care if Rigby was smart or not. She cares about him for him. That was just the coolest moment. And this is what we've been wanting. This is what I've been wanting to see. We've been seeing too much of Mordecai and his romantic stuff. We need to actually focus on Rigleen, as we like to call her, Rigby and Eileen. And we got so much. We got a lot of great stuff. And Rigby actually showed his smarts when he was able to create light in the cave. And he was able to make like a star type of background. And that was just the sweetest moment I've ever seen, and I am legitimately saying, Here's the thing, I am legitimately saying it was just all around great. And apparently, why in the world was there an exit? That's what I want to know. Like, and apparently Rigby, he actually carried his girlfriend out. That was just amazing. And that was the Eileen plan. My overall thoughts on this episode, from my excitement, you could tell I thought it was absolutely great. Rigby just continues to develop his character every single time he's in these episodes. It is just amazing from where he was in season 1 through 4 to where he is now. To helping out with giving advice, making life-changing decisions, actually putting someone's feelings who he cares about. He was willing to go through all of that just to prove to his girl that he was his. And Eileen, she was great too. This episode was just focused on them two, which is what we've been needed to see. And I really enjoyed this episode. As far as I'm concerned, that was my regular show review. I'm DJ Cass, and I will catch you around.